going on.
Malcolm, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Walking into the arena to Gucci Mane, you walked out, you looked around, you really took inventory. Could you tell me what was going through your mind at the moment?
Bro, I could not believe I was walking out to fight for the UFC. You know, the biggest show in the world. I was looking at how high in the stands there was fans out there screaming, you know, screens showing my name. Man, I've seen this on TV so many times, and I've never been to a UFC event before in my life. So that was my first time even experiencing, you know, what it's like inside a UFC event. And, boy, is it incredible.
Came out there, felt him out for a little bit in the beginning. Could you just walk us through the fight?
Yeah, to be honest, I was a little bit gun-shy because I was expecting him to shoot. You know, I thought he was going to try to take me to the mat. But as I applied pressure and waited for him to try to draw out those things that I was expecting him to do, he stayed on the feet. And he stayed on the feet long enough to do something that we've seen him do on footage before, and that's, you know, come in with his punches, that forward motion with his jaw exposed. And so I threw a right hook from that southpaw stance and just, you know, finished the fight.
Second time competing under the UFC banner. The first time was in the Contender Series. You also had a viral knockout. Did you expect walking into here that you were going to do the same exact thing?
Absolutely. I knew I was going to knock him out. The only question was, you know, what would I have to do to get it? You know, how many takedowns would I have to defend? You know, how long would it take for me to catch his timing? And it happened much sooner than expected.
Were you surprised about the crowd reaction before and after?
Before, absolutely, bro. When I was walking out, the crowd was screaming like I've been here before, you know. So that was incredible in itself. And afterwards, man, I was trying to take as many pictures as I could with everybody, man. But I guess I was slowing up the show, so I had to get it moving.
You've always been a respectful fighter. After the knockout happened, you went to the corner, you knelt down on your knees, and it seems like some emotion came out. Could you walk me through exactly what was going through your mind at the moment?
I did it. You know, I did it. You know, I was already, I was saying, you know, this whole week I felt like I was living the dream. I didn't feel like I had to beat him to live the dream. I felt like I was already in it. And for that to happen, man, that was just, I still can't even wrap my head around the position that I'm in now.
Bruce Buffer was able to say, from Augusta, Georgia, Malcolm the Machine Wellmaker, you come from a very small, intimate, family-based gym. What does this win in the UFC mean for those back home?
Man, the whole city is going crazy right now. It's an earthquake out there, I promise you. But, you know, the dream of getting the UFC Venom sweatsuits was already done, but to be able to raise our name with a performance like that, have Bruce Buffer say, you know, Augusta, Georgia, man, you know, regardless of whatever I do for the rest of my career, man, that in itself is priceless.
You have a baby on the way. What do you want to say to him?
I'm waiting for you, and you're going to be a bigger blessing than this moment is to me, you know, and I can't wait to hold you, you know.
Thank you, and congratulations, Malcolm.
Thank you.
Hey, man. So obviously you said this is the first UFC event you've been to, even as a fan, as a fighter.
Yeah.
To get a win in the UFC, right? You had the Contender Series, but to get a win in the UFC proper, I imagine that must give you some confidence, like, oh, not only am I here, I'm here and ready to compete with the best in the world. Do you take this win tonight and go forward more confident, like, oh, this is validation on my own belief and my abilities?
Absolutely, man. There was a bunch of small moments I had all week where I was, you know, hitting mitts in the room with all these other athletes that I've been watching for years, and, you know, someone would compliment me on this and on that. And it was just small things that just made me feel like I belonged in this organization with these fighters. And when I, you know, went out there and got that knockout that I just got, I know I belong here with these guys.
Seems like the step back right hand is your money punch, right? You got the on the Contender Series and again tonight. Is that the one the fighters have to watch out for?
One of them.
Malcolm, right here, brother.
What's up?
Kind of going back to the first question there, where do you rank your walkout song in terms of top walkout songs in the UFC? You know what I mean? Because, like, first day out, you had me in the front row rapping the lyrics with you as you're walking in. So it's got to be right up there.
Let's be real. That was the coldest. That was the coldest first day walkout song you could choose. The only thing that would have made it better is if it was in Atlanta. But I got something for Atlanta, too.
And then, speaking of Cameron Saaiman, like, when you see him and you see him training with the champ, Dricus du Plessis, that's got to bring you some confidence. You know what I mean? That you're going in there and you're getting a win against an opponent that trains with a guy that's a world champion in the UFC. Just talk to me about that as well.
Listen, I never underestimated him one bit. From the day, you know, I got the contract to as much film study as I did on him to the, you know, the moment we walked in the cage. I watched his fights. Dude is a dog. Dude is talented. He's not afraid to wrestle. He's not afraid to do anything with anybody. And when I faced off with him, I got that energy. You know, I held that eye contact with him. And he smiles, but he's a warrior. And a skilled warrior. So I respected him from the very jump, you know, because of who he is, what he's done, and the camp he's from. But, you know, I just don't think they didn't know what they was getting in there with, man.
And then speaking about your background and being a blue-collar boy, I know that there's a lot of blue-collar boys that come to the UFC. You know, it's a big topic on construction sites come Monday morning. So what do you have to say to all those people that bought tickets for you tonight?
Listen, man, from the very beginning of my career, when I was an amateur fighter, any fight I ever had, over half of the people that came to support me was blue-collar guys I worked in the trade with that was doing jobs with me, dirty jobs with me, you know what I mean? So everybody that I've ever been on a job with, I share my heart with you. Everybody that I haven't been on a job with that works that struggle and supports me because y'all know what I came from and what I have to fight through daily before I get into that training room. I love you, and I appreciate y'all uplifting me, showing me support, and that knockout was for all of us.
Are you still working the trade right now, or are you officially a full-time fighter?
We're going to find out when they dish out them bonuses. When they dish out them bonuses, I'm going to know if I'm going to work on Monday.
So if you get the bonus tonight, will you? You're
Done data. I'm not going to work. I promise you that. I go pick up my tools, but I'm going to have on an all-white welding cap, and I ain't getting it dirty.
So come Monday morning, you get $50K in your bank account. You're walking to the office and going, "I quit."
I peek and promise. Yes,
sir. The card in June in Atlanta, Paul Felder asked you about it. It seems like you won on. Did you have an idea about who you wanted to compete against?
I don't care who it is. I just if I could fight in Atlanta with a quick turnaround like that, that's a dream come true in itself. You know, I'll let my management, Sean Shelby and them, do what they got to do. They send me the contract, and it's good to sign.
Malcolm, final thoughts. What do you want to leave the people with?
Oh man, you know, I started fighting at the age of 22, you know, 8 years ago. Didn't have plans to be here. Didn't expect to ever, you know, do what I just did in an arena like that. And a lot of it, most of it has to do with the people that y'all saw in my corner tonight, man. They picked me up from who I was as a 22-year-old young man, brushed me off, chipped away those things that I didn't need in my life, and supported me in my journey in life from then up until what you see today. And not just as a fighter, but as a man. And they're going to be in my corner, win, lose, or draw, to the day I'm done with this. So,
congratulations.
Thank you.